Hello, everybody. We are live. I'm so excited. I'm here with somebody that I just completely adore, who has contributed so much to my life, Cara Wright. Um,
Hello, everyone.
Hi, just getting us going on Instagram here. And we've been doing these videos about what is an X-Men, and it's been so fun for me to interview so many different people that are X-Men, people that are just different, that function very different in the world, um, with this question, because it's a question that can't actually be answered, which is the fun of it. I love questions that can't be answered. And I think X-Men tend to love questions that can't be answered, even if they think they don't.
Well, we are the
So
great pretenders, so
yeah, exactly. So what is an X-Men?
I mean, this body of work is like so different from so many other things out there, and there's so much more out there in the world now. Like when I first came across the X-Men body of work, first of all, I knew pretty sure I wasn't one. Didn't apply to me.
Me too.
Second of all, is such a different take on the being neurodivergent, which is such a nowadays you can't really go anywhere without that being thrown up, and where people are looking at you know how people are differently wired and the difference that is. And I love that the X-Men bodywork actually like um delinearizes it. It like takes away the labels. It's interesting that out there in the world, labels are really important to people. Um, and so to me, it's just like a totally different way of um, allowing yourself to be different and knowing how to actually like work with it in a way that benefits you, as opposed to a lot of us like by the time I realized I was an X-Men, and it basically took Gary Douglas telling me I was autistic like 3 years in a row for me to actually go, hang on, am I actually? Because I grew up when no one labeled you. Like I was
Mm.
just sensitive, and I cried a lot, and I hated school. And I mean, I had all these weird things. Looking back, I'm like, of course. And but that was never a thing back then. And so I just thought I
Yeah.
was really um wrong. And that I wasn't coping well with my life, and that I was like, so it's like it's just interesting when you have because there's this play between labeling it and having like a diagnosis, and then also like not actually realizing you're so different that you are. Because I mean,
Yeah.
one of the things I think X-Men are is if you think everyone can see the world like you do, but you're told all the time that they don't,
Yeah.
you're fucking X-Men. And
Yeah,
so it's one of the things
exactly.
we do. Like I know I really got good at um learning how to be. Like I'm like I'm not kidding when I say X-Men are the great pretenders, because everything that we think we are, we're actually not that thing. So if you're someone who thinks you're incredibly judgmental, you're probably actually not. You
Yeah.
just have to work so freaking hard to pretend you're judgmental that you've convinced yourself of it. And it's like, and every other thing that you've ever thought was like fucked up about you is the same. Like,
Yeah.
that's not actually who you are. You just saw it in the world and you thought, well, I guess that's how I'm supposed to be. And none of it's cognitive,
Yeah.
you know, it's just
Yeah.
what we do when you don't. So I don't know. It's going to be really interesting 50 years from now to see what's better, like being diagnosed out of the gate and living your life with this label, or having no fucking clue that you're as different as you are, and that no one sees shit the way you do. No one's brain works the way your brain works.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think they're two total polar opposites of the um whatever coin.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing that's striking me as you're saying, one of the many things, as you're talking, is the levels of perceiving that X-Men have, and nobody talks to us about that. And we're just so aware of everything, past, present, future. There's no timelines, there's no sense of distinction. It's like all these energies, and we try to kind of process them and, make sense of them. And
You don't, there is no processing what
yeah.
you are perceiving. That's the whole thing. Like I remember as a child, like if there is a suppressed energy in the room, I will be the first motherfucker to act it out. I will be the first person to say it. I will be the first person to be, so like as a little kid, I would like leave family functions just like completely distraught, crying, angry. Well, that's because that's how everyone was feeling, and everybody was pretending that everything's fine, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
so, you just act out the most intense, suppressed energy in the room and
Yeah.
then think it's you. Like so
Yeah.
many of us are like, well, I just think that's me. That's how I am. So I mean, since learning the X-Men body of work, it's like the amount that I could unravel what I actually thought was me to who I actually am. It's such an interesting process. It's amazing. And the tools, like there's nothing else like it, I don't think,
hmm
personally. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's been we've, done a bunch of these and also had a podcast yesterday with Gary Douglas, who's the creator of Access Consciousness and this work.
Mhm.
Um and oh gosh, I don't even remember what I was just about to say. Something that we talked about anyway. I guess it's not relevant. Um yeah, oh, the I was just saying to him like that, how much of a lifesaver these tools have been. I
Mhm.
mean, because you think you are all these things that you're not. They're just things that you're aware of. And, like Cara, you acted them out. For me, I was just so aware but I was also aware of like what was the like appropriate way to be. And that
Mhm.
was like big, kind of in my family, it was like be appropriate, be appropriate, be appropriate, be appropriate, and so I could make myself the appropriate
Mhm.
energy, and then suppress my awareness of everything that didn't
Mhm.
match what everybody was saying was going on. And I didn't necessarily act stuff out, but I made myself so wrong for everything that I was aware of, and it was like,
Totally.
none of this matches, people are
Mhm.
doing and saying this, but there's all this energy under the surface. And I must be wrong. I must be judgmental for perceiving the anger, the resentment, the hatred, all these things. It was like, that must just be me being fucked up. So
Totally.
I'll just suppress, 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 and just be a good
Mhm.
little girl and make myself wrong,
Well, I think the X-Men body of work is one of the only bodies of work that actually encourage you to be the fluidity of who you are. Because I think one of the things that is so hard with X-Men is like we're really good at being chameleons. We're really good at like figuring out what the lane is, staying in the lane. Like
Yeah.
the reason I didn't know I was autistic forever, I mean, I never appeared so because I knew how to mask. I knew how to be exactly what everybody else wanted me to be
Yeah.
while being aware of all the stuff like you're talking about. But there's a fluidity to you as a being when you are an X-Men because you actually don't have fixed points of view.
Yeah.
You don't have like things have to be this way or not this way. You don't function like that. Everything
Yeah.
is much more of like, we live in possibility land and many of us have trained ourselves out of that.
Yeah.
And so like to be able to embrace the fluidity of your being, to be able to be all of those things and have none of them, be a wrongness, which is I think what sets apart access consciousness in general and the X-Men body work is that you can actually be all of it. You don't have to like because I think so many people find out that they're different or neurodivergent or autistic or ADD or all those things. And then they think, oh, I got to stay in this lane. And
hmm
that's absolutely not actually what's true. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have a fucking lane.
Yeah.
That's what's fucking true. Like, so for me, it's like, I think, like I said, I think it's one of the only places in the world or bodies of work in the world with this particular theme that gives you the most possibility and choice.
Yes. Yeah, totally. And I mean, we live in a world where it's like you're like if you want to be successful, you have to define yourself, you have to define what you want, you have to just set your goals and go for it. And and that just so doesn't work for X-Men.
No.
I
I mean,
did
we can do it. We can do it like the best of them, but it
right.
doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't really work. I mean, like they
Well,
talk
you have
about
to
the burnout.
yeah, I mean you have to cut off so much of you to do that, and it just eventually just totally, yeah, you burn out or it fizzles or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's like I'm just really grateful that I had this body work introduced to me at the time in life that I did, because I don't know, as like a lot of women age and they start to go through the hormone changes and the perimenopause and menopause, that's like when a lot of women find out that they are actually neurodivergent. Like there's a huge amount of the population, because all the shit that they've built in order to like maintain normalcy when they're absolutely not normal just goes away. And then
Yeah.
they're like, what in the hell? And they're, they've got burnout and they've got all the things that you see, you can open social media for 2 seconds flat and see five things about it. But it's like, it's
Yeah.
actually true. It's like you can't sustain masking, you can't sustain a lie forever. Something's going to give. So
Yeah.
the tools that we have in the Access body work are, first of all, they're super simple. They're
Yeah.
not complicated.
Yeah.
And they're actually like, for me, they're like, find your own way. There isn't a way.
Yeah.
What is your way? And I think for so many people who've spent their whole lives trying to figure out what the right way is or what everyone's doing or who they should be, it's such a relief. Oh my God,
Yeah.
to actually realize you don't have to choose one path. You can be this today. I mean, one of my favorite analogies is like, to me, X-Men are like the weather.
Yeah.
You don't expect the weather to be static all the time. No one has
Yeah.
that expectation.
Yeah.
But yet we do that to people all the time. And
Yeah.
neurodivergent people, people that are wired differently, it's like really mean.
Yeah.
And we're the perpetrators. We do it to ourselves more than
To
anyone else. Like, and it's like
totally.
terrible,
Totally. Yeah.
terrible.
Totally.
So the fact that people
It's
hit a point in their life and are like, I can't anymore, it's not
hmm
surprising.
yeah. At
Yeah.
some point it's gotta give. Something's
Yeah.
gotta give. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Totally. I just did a call, I don't know, 2 weeks ago on Chameleon, my chameleon conversation. And it was so cool because I asked everybody, I was like, what color is a chameleon? And everybody was like,
Mhm.
wow, like what color is a chameleon, And it's like
Yeah.
exactly, that's the point, It's
Exactly.
it isn't. It's all colors and no color and no defined, you can't
I mean, it's
say. And
whatever it chooses to be in the moment, really.
totally. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
And yeah, so that was kind of a fun, like just to, and it's such a different, you can't look through the eyes of like solid reality to look at a question like that. You have to go to a different universe that is so much more like fluid, like you said, to be like,
Mhm.
wow, I'm everything. I'm none of it, all of it, and so
Mhm.
much beyond that. And
Mhm.
and you were saying like kind of that invitation to find your way,
Mhm.
and it's not just like, hey, you're different, find your way, go have fun, like we have so many tools and
Yeah.
conversations that facilitate the exploration of what we are, which is ever evolving, and how we can use that, how can we can be really generative and creative and productive in the world in our way, and like use all of it to your advantage, and
Yeah.
still like get to be you more and more all the time. And that's like those are just they're tools to me that are just so essential,
Mhm.
that I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that I've come across.
Me too. Like it's the difference between locking into something as a disability or like actually exploring it as an ability. Just like how can I use this to my advantage is something that I don't think a lot of modalities give people that option, like, and when you do see the world very differently, you do have a lot of advantages, but
Mhm.
we're taught here that it's a disadvantage to not be like everyone else. So for me, it's like it's got such an amazing like base of being able to create your life the way that it works for you.
Yes, totally. So pragmatic. So
Mhm.
pragmatic. Like
Mhm.
and vital, really vital if you're
I
different.
think so. I don't know
Yeah.
where I would be without the basic, like the X-Men tools, bars, and
Yeah.
asking a question. Who knows?
Yeah, me too. Me too. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Cara.
You're welcome.
We could go on and
Yeah.
there is a class this weekend, an X-Men class with Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, and Alison Cox, Arthur Wood, Rachel O'Brien co-facilitating, and it's a new moment for the X-Men body of work and the
Mhm.
specialty area in Access, and I'm so excited about what's getting created and what's available now, and really curious to see where we go with this class. So,
Totally.
um,
And if you think you're maybe interested, I would choose it. Gary Douglas does not do these classes very often, and when he's done them in the past, they have just been so just total life-changing classes. So,
yeah,
if you're intrigued
yeah,
at all, check it out.
yeah. It's been years since he did an X-Men class.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he's only done it, I don't know, maybe just a couple in the past like
Mhm.
decade or something. So. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a cool moment. And it's going to be live in Bladlaville, Texas at the Lazy Double D Ranch, just outside of Houston and online as well. So, yeah. Thank you, Miss Cara. Thanks everybody for
You're
being
welcome.
here. Enjoy. Bye for
Bye.
now.